The live we go. Welcome into Tiger Talks Wrestling. I am your host, Tony. I am joined today by my co-host, Mr. Awesome, and a very special guest. And welcome into Tiger Talks Wrestling. I am your host, Tony. Joined today for this very interesting podcast that we'll be doing. We got three things we'll be discussing. By Jon. Welcome to the
What
show.
up?
And of course, can't forget Busta Boy.
It's just me, the pain in the ass. Hi, everyone.
Now you can see me a little bit better. Other than that, that's a good thing.
Ooh, there's lights in that room.
Sometimes.
I guess you can say you're trying to enlighten everybody.
There you go.
Ding dong.
All right. Hello?
And of course, I'm dressed for the occasion. Got my boy,
Well, you don't, so why not?
Dean Ambrose, a.k.a. Jon Moxley. So,
The
I'm
Mox.
dressed for the occasion.
I should have worn my Moxley shirt.
Right. All right. So that's what was next
Man.
on there.
Wrestling just got interested all of a sudden over the last couple of days, huh?
Last couple of days, I'd say over the last month.
Yeah, the difference a year makes. That's all I'm gonna say. What a difference
right.
a year makes.
There's a lot of things we could touch on. I know at least two of us watched wrestling today already. I don't know about you, Busta Boy.
Yeah.
We're gonna go over that here.
Unpack on that one, but I'm gonna leave that alone right now.
We're gonna get into that very soon, though.
Oh
I'm
man,
just
I got a
trying to
lot to
update
say.
my
A lot. Believe it or not, I got a lot of good to say.
That'll be a change.
I mean, all I gotta
That's
say,
definitely a change. Oh, definitely. I got a lot of good to say, but I do got some bad to say too. But I'll leave that.
Well, I can understand that. So
Some, but the good definitely outweighs the bad. But we'll leave that alone for now. One task at a time.
well, since we're here, we're talking about it. Mentioned it a little bit already. I got that half of the show ready. Then the first thing to talk about today.
Oh,
Clash at
boy.
the Castle. So, for anybody who is, nobody's watching this now, apparently, but anybody who watches this later, if you don't want to Clash at the Castle, spoilers, then fast forward through this part of the show. Because that's what we're going to go over here to start things off. So, Clash at the Castle happened this afternoon here in the States, evening over there in Wales. We'll jump in first to the kickoff show, which I was surprised it's the first time in, I think close to a year that they've had a kickoff match. But for some odd reason, they decide to randomly throw in this match where they have Madcap Moss teaming up with the Street Profits to face the Alpha Academy and Mr. Money in the Bank himself, Austin Theory. Shortest match on the whole show, not surprising. They could have done a lot more with it than what they did. Of course, I think everybody probably figured what the outcome would be to a match like that to kick off a show like this. The Alpha Academy and Austin Theory take the loss as Chad Gable gets pinned by Montez Ford after an insane spot, followed by the From the Heavens Frog Splash, of course.
Yeah, it got the job done. It was short and sweet, and it got the job done, I feel, in my opinion.
I mean, not to throw out all the wrestling puns, but it got enough of the shushiness for me.
Yeah, trust me, I have enough shush from Monday to last the rest of my life. Thank you very much.
Right?
Thank you. That's all I'm going to say.
Shush.
Shush.
You think I'll just shush me?
Like, I don't know. It's worse than the woo-off that between freaking Jay Lethal and Ric Flair. I'm like, come on, you two, stop. What are you
Right?
doing?
It was terrible. That's for sure. It's good to see Kurt again, but
Oh yeah, and they added him back into the game on Supercard. Just in case you don't know, Kurt Angle versus John Cena, Clash of the Champions event. Just saying, for Supercard. But anyway,
I guess there was a little bit of history to that match since we did see the Alpha Academy get beat by the Street Profits on Raw Monday, and Madcap and Theory had a match on SmackDown a couple weeks ago, but still, just randomly thrown in there. Then we
Don't
go
forget about the milk.
Yes, that was like Knucklemania running wild again.
so my only question is, what the hell are you doing with Madcap Moss?
That is a good question.
I mean, it's a fan
Can
favorite.
we just go back to Riddick Moss now, please?
Yeah, right. He hasn't really done anything since he beat Happy Corbin in 3 matches in a row.
You mean bum-ass
I am interested to see where Corbin's going to go now that he's with JBL.
Yeah, we'll see what goes on there.
That's interesting. It's JBL.
It'll be interesting to see if JBL sticks around and becomes like a manager for him, or if that's just a one-off, pretty much.
I'm just happy to see JBL back. That's what I'm going to say. I'm just happy to see him back. It's been a while since I've got my Bradshaw fixed. Like, everybody knows right by now how I feel about Bradshaw. I like Bradshaw a lot. So
I want to see
Nothing you didn't
Corbin
watch
take a
coming.
clothesline.
the guy can get the job done, whatever they got planned for him. So anyway,
Yes, I
it's
know,
going to be
right?
good.
We hope. Because you never know.
Right.
Only time will tell. All right.
Hey, these pushes won't last like only just a week or two and then be done, but this time.
True.
For now, we'll see.
We hope that things will stay the same pretty much. All right. Interesting things took place. We'll get into those. So the main show rather, kicked off with went from a 6-man tag on the pre-show to the 6-woman tag on the main show. You had the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka versus the team now known as Damage Control, it seems. Dakota Kai, Io Sky, and Bayley. I thought it was a really good opening contest for these 6 women, and they put out all the stops pretty much here, as you kind of would figure they would do. It was mentioned throughout the match, and you could obviously see that Bayley's team was acting more like a team, more like a unit, so as to speak, than what you've seen from the 3 other individuals who are more used to their singles roles as former Raw and SmackDown Women's Champions, collectively. Obviously, Bayley and Io have been Women's Champions before as well, but when it all came down to it, it's all the smoke had cleared. We see a triple team from Bayley's team leading to Bayley pinning the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair clean as a whistle to get the win for Damage Control. What's your guys' take on that match?
I guess what all I got to say is, did you see how big of a push they were giving Dakota Kai in that match?
She did get a lot of good spots in there.
She had a lot of great spots, which something you probably would never see if McMahon was still around.
Right? I mean, she wouldn't even be around if Vince was still in charge.
This is true. But I feel like everyone got like where they should be, especially on Bayley's team. But the individuals should have worked a lot, better. And that's all I got to say about it.
Now,
to me, I'm going to just put this out there real quick. I know you had something you wanted to say, Busta Boy, but to me, ever since this group showed up at SummerSlam, I feel like for the most part, you see Dakota get the more in-ring time, so as to speak, in a tag team match than you do Io. Io just seems like she's there for the over-the-moonsault, and that's the main thing that they care to showcase from her. No offense, Io's a great competitor. I mean, I enjoyed watching her in NXT, but I just feel like the spotlight's been more on Dakota than it has Io since this group debuted.
That bothers me.
Why is that?
Now, everybody, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know, or if they don't know, you're going to know how much I absolutely love Io. Like, Io, I like the new name too. Io Sky is good. I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? I don't care about the name. That's not bothering me. What's bothering me is the fact that everybody who's watched her in NXT knows how good she is. Right? But why not just give her the chance to show it? I get that Dakota Kai just came back, you know, and she's getting a lot of the spotlight, and I get what they're doing with that. And I think I know where they're going with it. And if they do what I think they're going to do at Extreme Rules, that might be smart. You know, have Kai and Io be just the tag team, right? Have them win the tag team belts and have Bayley win the women's title. That's what I think they're building towards eventually. But if they're going to do that, they got to make people care, you know, not just about, like, they only care now because of Bayley, you know, and I think I know why. They only care because Bayley doesn't have to do anything. She just has to be there. Everybody knows who Bayley is. Nobody knows who Dakota Kai is. No one knows who Io is. So why not have those two shine? Why not have Io go out there one day, right, and just shine? Say, this is why I am the goddess of the air, you know, and have her show it. Right now, I just feel like Io is kind of being treated like the weak link of the bunch. But that's just me.
I will say this much. They did give Io the singles match with Bianca Belair the first night that they were on Raw, though, and they put on a really good match there. So she got a little bit of a showcase. Just since then, it hasn't seemed like they've shown off as much of her skills.
I just feel like they're not giving her enough. Like, I feel like I'm glad they're giving more women more time. Don't get me wrong. I love that. Like, right? That's a plus. More of that, please. But just make sure that everybody who doesn't just watch, you know, the casuals know who that is. You know what I mean? Really push it. Let them know. Not just say it, but have her go out there and show it. And that's what I feel like right now. She's not showing it enough. Now, I mean, everyone can. You're known sometimes for one good match, and she needs one really good match to say, hey, that girl is good. And I think that if she gets that match, it needs to happen sooner rather than later, because eventually this is going to fizzle out and people are going to be like, oh, she's only this because of Bayley and Dakota Kai. She's kind of just there. So,
and off of this match, Io could even have something that she could build off of if an eventual turn. So as this week comes, is she's the one that hit the over the moonsault. Bayley picked up the pin afterwards, so it was her move that got the win technically. And yes, all three of them hit their finishers, but still, Io was the last one that got hit.
Could we also talk about the suplex? I mean, the superplex off of Belair's back.
That was
right.
Incredible. I like that a lot. I'm glad that we're seeing the women get these good spots like that too, because it's about time. Because it's been a long time since we've really seen good women's wrestling, and the WWE is reminding us now why they were the best of the best when it comes to that. And they are taking their women very seriously, and they're proving that with matches like this, in my opinion.
Right. When was the last time really we've seen a 6-woman tag match of any sort that actually seemed like it mattered? Go back to maybe like when the women Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch debuted, maybe is the last time that you really seen a 6-woman tag match where anybody cared about.
Yeah. And this one really felt impactful. This felt like it was building towards something. And I think they're going to capitalize on this on Raw. And I think if they're smart, I think Bayley's going to be next. Because they have history between Bianca and Bayley. But I think with this new direction that they're going now with Raw, I think they could. I mean, they really did well under the last one with Vince was there, but I think they can do really good now. Now they have more freedom to do with what they want now. So that's
one thing I was happy to see was then they brought Bayley back. They put her in a program with Bianca right away. When she went down with an injury over a year ago, it was supposed to be Bayley versus Bianca for the SmackDown Women's title inside Hell in a Cell the following week after Bayley got injured. So that's a little bit of a continuity. Not that they've mentioned that too much since this whole feud or rivalry has started, but it's something that if you paid attention, was there. It's something they can build off of still if they want to more going forward. And Bianca, I believe, is still looking for the 4th, if not 2 of the 4 members of the 4 horsewomen to beat that she hasn't gotten the chance to yet. So,
yeah.
Well, it's going to be a while before she faces Sasha. So
she's beaten Sasha.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she did beat Sasha. She beat Sasha
at WrestleMania last year.
Yeah, she beat Becky as well. So now she's got 2 more left. It's going to be a while before she beats Charlotte.
Bayley once before Bayley got
Charlotte for a while. So.
Speaking of, gotta wonder how long it'll be before we see that individual Charlotte that you just mentioned back in WWE. She's been cleared last I knew.
She's getting a revenge match.
Trying to figure out what to do with it.
Because she's getting that revenge match against Ronda. It's all a matter of when.
Probably Adam will bring her in as her bodyguard, as his bodyguard at some point in this thing that's going on SmackDown. Anyway, so we'll move on from there. Unless you guys got anything else you want to put in there about the women's match before we go on.
I mean, not with the match, but how about Bayley's chant that she was getting? Using the old song lyrics?
Yeah, she gets that chant every time they're in the UK or the night after WrestleMania, usually, because you have a UK strong audience there. But she was actually, it's different to see her actually quieting them down or trying to. And you try to say, no, I'm not going to be your girl. Playing the perfect heel role in that situation. But yeah, that suplex also that you mentioned. If anybody that didn't see it sees this, Bianca Belair actually had been pulled her braid through the ring post by Bayley, and then was still kind of stuck there while I think it was Bayley on the top rope, and Alexa and Asuka both climbed on the back of Bianca and hit a superplex off of the back of Bianca to Bayley. So if you hadn't seen it, that is worth a look at, if nothing else, from Sasha Castle.
Yeah.
Then we'll move on. The next match we did a lot of video stuff in between these 2 matches, but you have Sheamus come out there with the Brawling Brutes, Rich Holland and Pete Dunne. I'm not calling him what they're still calling him because I'm sure they're going to change it to Pete Dunne with what we've seen. But the interesting part...
We'll just say he's Pete Dunne now because after SmackDown, him coming out like he came out with the Pete Dunne gear, he fought like Pete Dunne. He's fucking Pete Dunne, okay? Just call him Pete Dunne.
Right. And he had his hair down.
He even had all the look and everything like Pete Dunne.
Right.
Like, come on, bro. Come on now.
So the first interesting thing we actually get here, though, is you have Ludwig Kaiser come out there to introduce Gunther, you figure, is all he's going to do. But he wasn't alone. You have Giovanni Vinci joining him as we have the reformation of Imperium on Friday Night SmackDown. You might not like the names. They have Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner as their names. But
I have a feeling they're going to slowly start taking putting them all back to the way they were slowly. Because
Awesome.
I don't know if you heard recently, but Theory got his first name back recently.
So did Riddle.
Yep.
I mean that more later.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to go. So
yeah. But anyway, it led into those 4 individuals outside of Sheamus and Gunther brawling as the first couple of minutes before the match actually begins, and then you never see them again once the bell rings. By the way.
All I'm going to say about this match is, ouch!
Yeah, right? That's about all you need.
Can y'all stop trying to kill each other, please?
And did you see the picture
stop.
of Sheamus afterwards?
You're making me hurt, and I'm not even part of the damn match, man. That was a hard-hitting match. I haven't seen a hard-hitting match, a hard-hitting Sheamus match in a while. And that was good. That was a good fucking match. Just that's what I'm talking about. Just have Gunther go out there and do Gunther shit. That's what I'm talking about. Let him just fucking go out there and be Gunther. Which I'm okay with the name, by the way.
That makes one of us.
It's growing on to me. But
yeah.
I'm
that name I can handle.
To Walter.
The other 2 should not have any different names.
I mean, come on now. We put up with Miro. We could deal with freaking Gunther.
Rusev to Miro. Yeah, well.
Yeah,
anyway.
I'll say on that match though, great match. I just didn't like how it ended. Right when Sheamus was about to go again, that lariat, and then it was over. I feel like they could have built a little bit more on that ending.
Yeah, I kind of felt like the ending came kind of quicker than what it should have. Because, like you said, Sheamus was kind of like, to paraphrase, hulking up.
And then he had that look in his eyes.
Yeah.
There is definitely going to be a second match. I do not see why there wouldn't be.
You know I'm sure we'll have a 6-man tag probably on a future SmackDown, and then maybe we'll get an Extreme Rules match at Extreme Rules.
Yeah, definitely. Imagine what they could do.
Imagine that.
This was just a regular one-on-one straight-up match. Imagine what they could do in Extreme Rules matches. Imagine what they could do.
I don't think anyone can handle what they're going to do to each other in an Extreme Rules match.
Like, I could barely handle the one-on-one match.
No, right?
You were making me freaking hurt.
Just to think of brutality that those 2 could bring to each other with kendo sticks, with chairs, with tables, with.
In my opinion, this was the best match on the card. In my opinion, those 2 were just the most hard-hitting match of the card for sure. Because that was my match of the night for sure. Because I just like. I probably agree with you.
I mean,
those 2 are awesome. So.
I will say I wasn't really impressed with Gunther's power bombs, because they were lackluster.
They were,
and they were really, really safe.
Yeah,
you could tell how safe they were because those 2, that's the thing. We know how he was in the UK. He just let it rip. They can handle it, but we know his history. We know Sheamus' history as well with his neck injuries. So I could understand a little bit why he kind of like softened it a little bit, because he can't really take hard bumps like that anymore.
Right.
Which I could understand why, but I do see your point. It was very lackluster. Those power bombs were really weak.
They could have sold it a little more to make it not so obvious.
Yeah, right. He could have definitely did better on the power bombs, in my opinion. He could have definitely did. But overall, I thought it was a great match, man. I loved it.
And no offense to the lariat, but I'd rather see, if he's not going to get the win with powerbomb, that splash that he does off the top rope should get the win otherwise.
I know. I thought we were going to get it too.
Me too. I was waiting for it. And when he hit that lariat, I was like, Sheamus is going to kick out. No problem. 1, 2, 3. What?
I know. So much bull crap.
This is definitely not going to be over between these 2, for sure. I do not see why they would not have a round 2.
I mean, you see false finishes so often in not even just in WWE now, but AEW and everywhere else too. You never once seen a brogue kick from Sheamus in there that got a 2 count. You got a powerbomb that got a 2 count. I'm kind of surprised that you didn't get to see Sheamus hit that brogue.
It was nice to see this Celtic cross again, though.
Yeah, and we haven't seen that.
Off the rope the way you got
Yeah.
it too. That was nice. A
I
bigger
thought
guy,
he
you don't
right there.
Yeah. There's more they can do with another match, I feel like, than what they did here, even though it was a really great match that they put on Clash of the Castle.
And I liked how the fan appreciation for Sheamus at the end.
I know. That was pretty cool. He deserved that. I mean, there.
Seeing all the Irish flags come out and all that.
Yep. Not something Sheamus will get too many chances for, I'm sure, just like anybody else from the UK won't get that many chances to get a hometown or home country, rather, appreciation. All right. But didn't mention Gunther did win the match, as mentioned. We move on from there to, I'm sure one of you at least will disagree with me on this, but the worst match, in my opinion, on the card. Not to say it was a bad match, but if you rated them, I would rate this the lowest of the 6 matches on the card, or 7 counting the pre-show. It'd be second to lowest if you count the pre-show match. You got Shayna Baszler, the Queen of Spades, going one-on-one with Liv Morgan for the SmackDown Women's title. John, I already know. Go ahead.
Can we just say how the technical moves that Liv was pulling off in this match was awesome and spot on? Probably the best Liv Morgan match I've seen in a while.
I would probably agree with that. I mean, you've seen her pull out some submission moves, and you don't usually see Liv Morgan pull out submission moves. And Busta Boy's falling asleep over there.
Huh? I heard something about Liv Morgan and I fell asleep. What happened?
She beat Shayna Baszler to retain the SmackDown Women's title. That's what happened.
Okay. Unpopular opinion here. Liv Morgan is the most boring person I've ever seen. Her promo skills are whack, man. The promos are whack. Her inability to sell properly. Like, I've always said this. Like, Liv Morgan, even when they were in the Riot Squad, I've even said she's not going to go anywhere. She's just there for a pretty face. And now she won the belt. I never really felt like she was ever, a threat. And I think that's the point. That's by design. I really think that, in my opinion, the wrong person won. I feel like Baszler should have won that. I feel like she should have been a little bit more aggressive. And I feel like, again, the wrong person won that match. But I'm happy that Liv Morgan won. It's kind of doesn't make sense for her to go as this pushover champion that really shouldn't have been anything, to all of a sudden coming out of nowhere with technical moves, bulldogging people through tables and shit. Like, you have an injured arm, and you're bulldogging someone through a table. Right. Please help me make that make sense. Why don't I break my arm and try to bulldog somebody through a table? Like, you got to sell your injury. You could have at least did it with the other arm, right? And stayed down a little bit. I've sold injuries before, man. Dude, it just made you look weak, made you look whack, made you look like an absolute terrible champ. And to me, in my opinion, I feel like Baszler would have been a better champ. And I feel like they could have done better things with her, especially after what she said to Mandy Rose. And that makes her look weak. You know what I mean? Her saying everything, everything that you said for the last year was garbage. Kind of like looking in the mirror, right, Shayna? Everything you've been saying since you came from NXT to WWE is garbage. So, and it makes you look, from a storyline and a character development perspective, that's what it looks like. You know what I mean? Yeah. It makes you look weak as a character. It makes you look weak as a badass. And it's hard to take you serious. Losing to people like Liv Morgan, and you just literally shit on Mandy Rose the night before that. Like, what? It's the same difference, you know?
So my question from this is, you mentioned the contract signing where Liv put Shayna through the table. You also seen a little run-in from Shayna and Ronda that night as well, and Ronda mentioning something about the Bulldog, so as to speak, from Shayna Baszler, the killer part of Shayna Baszler. Could we potentially see those two brought together at some point in the near future on SmackDown?
If it's smart, smart money would say yes, definitely. I would say, especially after basically her, Ronda Rousey reestablishing herself as the baddest bitch on the planet with this new gimmick, I guess.
I thought you were just the biggest bitch in the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's
According to Pierce.
I liked seeing it, you know. I mean, again, she's an athlete. She can actually hurt somebody if she wants to. You know, Shayna too. She's a genuine badass. She could hurt somebody if she wants to. So those two would be great. You know, I mean, but I think right now, again, I just think with what they're doing with Shayna and what they've been doing with her since she made her main roster call up, she hasn't really made much noise.
That's true.
And now you put her in a title match she really shouldn't have been in because it didn't really make sense for her to win, and only for her to lose her first title match so decisively, you know. Yeah. And in my opinion, I think that was just a really bad call. If this shit happened, believe me, if this shit would have happened in AEW or Ring of Honor, people would have been like, "Oh, that's so good. That's great. That's a great match." But in reality, it's not. It's garbage. It's fucking stupid. So I agree with you. It's the worst match on the card because of that. The wrong person won, in my opinion.
I got two more things to add on this match.
Go ahead.
They're both of the competitors, even though Liv won, they're both liars. One was supposed to get the limbs ripped out, and the other one's going to break the other's arm. None of that happened.
True.
What's up with that?
Right.
And then to bring on, here's a scenario. Say Ronda and Shayna do come together and go after Liv. What if Charlotte Flair comes out, and that's when Charlotte comes back and starts out as a tag team match going on, and all of a sudden a fatal four-way for the women's title?
It's possible.
Now, don't get it twisted up. I'm not saying the match wasn't good. It was a good match, but just in my opinion, it just leaves too much open.
Yeah.
You know, all of a sudden you're supposed to be the face, right?
Yeah.
And you're acting like a heel. And you're supposed to be the underdog that shouldn't have won, which you are the underdog that shouldn't have won. You shouldn't have won the Money in the Bank, but you did. You pulled it off. You see, the story that you're telling is kind of mixed right now. First you go from this underdog that wasn't supposed to really win to all of a sudden now you're a badass now because I'm the champion and I'm going to show you why. A little confused on that. But in the meantime, I'll be watching other matches besides yours, Liv, because that's just snooze. It's just boring, in my opinion. I think you are probably not the worst champion. I think that a lot of what Liv Morgan does as a character, I think if anything, she definitely needs to be repackaged as a different character because this story that they're telling with her is not working.
Right.
It's not working, and I'm hoping that one day they see that and they're like, "Oh, this is not working." Really, you think?
So I think we're going to be leading from there for Liv Morgan. As I feel like Ronda Rousey didn't get her rematch after being screwed at SummerSlam. So I have a feeling at Extreme Rules they're going to have a rematch between Ronda and Liv, but they got to put a stipulation of some sort in there. Perhaps Shayna helps Ronda win the title back at Extreme Rules with that.
Or Charlotte returns and screws her over.
That could be too.
Either way. Yeah, because we know that Charlotte's going to want revenge on Ronda. And Shayna's definitely getting some sort of rematch. So if Charlotte comes back, you know she's going to be gunning for Ronda for breaking her arm. But, yeah, so it'd be interesting. The 4-way at Extreme Rules, it seems like it's a lot more logical to do it that way. And that way she could still get, Liv Morgan could still get her rematch because she's like somebody else can take the pin and she can still lose her belt, but she can still, it leaves it open where she can get her rematch.
Right.
Or they can be a real dick and have her just retain.
You never know. All right. So then from there, let's see where things go. We'd move on to the tag team match. We got Rey Mysterio teaming up with the Rated R Superstar Edge for the first time in over 20 years with Dominic in their corner, facing the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest with Rhea Ripley in their corner. Quite the interesting match. What happened afterwards is a little more interesting. Go into the match first before we go to what happened afterwards.
Yeah, that was it. It had. Let me just put it this way: you had me at hello, and then you said goodbye, and I feel like shit. Thanks.
So the first thing I'll bring up is the fact that the entrances, Edge came out wearing a pretty much same type of mask that Rey Mysterio was wearing to the ring. Just a little bit Rated R Superstar gimmick to it, so as to speak. But it was definitely different and interesting to see Edge wearing a mask in solidarity, if you will, to come out.
Can I just point out that Edge is a natural born talented athlete in general? Like,
true.
Can I just pull that off? Can I just tell you that? Like, the dude has the natural ability to make you invested in anything that he
have
does.
to enjoy it while we can, because he did mention when they were in Toronto after the show went off the air that he is planning on retiring again when they're in Toronto next year in August.
Yep. So I'm gonna.
That's the one
way
that he did.
I mean, but we already knew that eventually he was going to have to anyway, because he said multiple times, I don't know how much longer I can do this.
Right.
But just like with Bryan Danielson, I don't know. He said, I don't know how much longer I can do this either. He's lucky to be wrestling at all. With the injury that he has, most people don't come back from that. So he's really lucky.
So,
I just want to point out, I lost my voice at the Royal Rumble when he came back. Just saying.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people did.
Yeah.
Like, wow, he came back. It's like, I cannot believe he actually came back. That was one of those genuine moments where it's like, wow, what a surprise.
I mean, there was so much buzz leading up to it, and so much buzz. It was like, yeah, it's just buzz. It's not going to actually happen. And then 21 hit. Was it 20 or 21 hits? Music plays. You're like, no fucking way.
Right?
Dude, I loved it. And I've been on the freaking Edge train ever since, man. And he shined again in this match, like he always does. Because it's fucking Edge, of course. He's good at everything he does,
I honestly kind of wanted to see more of Edge leading the Judgment Day. I kind of felt like they ended that too quickly. But we are here now where he's outside.
I could have really went somewhere.
Yeah. So
I think Balor should be the one to end it. I think he should be the last match. Him and Balor in Toronto.
I don't know if they carry off that long, but we'll see. You never know. We are under a new regime, so.
Just don't have him lose to Corbin or some shit, man. That's just stupid.
So I do want to bring up some spots that took place in this match. I mean, you see an Edge actually deliver a 619 at one point during this match.
Yeah, I seen that. I was like, what? He hit a 619. Wow.
The whole drop kick to the back to set it up, and the whole 619 you connected with it.
Man, that's crazy, dude.
Finn got his spots, got the sling blade. Looked like Damian Priest was going to get a big spot at one point where he just leaped up onto the barricade that Ray was standing on top of, had him in position for a chokeslam, except for Damian Priest didn't land very well from
Nope.
that whole situation, getting crashed on the barricade. I think he probably was using a little bit of ice on his plane ride home. He probably won't be the only one, though, as we'll get into in a little bit. Of course, having Dominic and Rhea outside the ring, you knew they'd get involved. You seen Dominic get a little involved at first, so Rhea comes over and tries taking him out. Maybe she did a little too much because Ray ended up having to get involved there as well. Yes, Ray took both of them out. That pretty much took them out for the rest of the match, except for Dominic would trip up Finn. Finn went for the coup de grace at one point, and Dominic stopped that, or Ray stopped that, correction. Finn looked like he had the match won. Dominic tripped him up, leading into another 619, this time from Rey Mysterio, and a spear out of the 619. 1, 2, 3, Edge gets the victory over Finn Balor. Anything you guys want to say about the match before we jump into what happened after the match? Okay.
Overall,
After the match, we get Dom, Ray, and Edge in the ring. Looks like they're going to have a happy-go-lucky embrace and everything's fine with the world. Instead, we get Dom looking at Ray, then turns and looks at Edge, and the boot to the groin. Dominic Mysterio then pie faces Edge down. Ray's like, what the hell you doing, bro? Ray eats a clothesline from his son. It's something that the fans on Twitter, social media, everywhere, and even John and I have mentioned that we've seen coming, and it finally has happened. Dominic Mysterio turning his back on his dad and Edge, and is now apparently on his own. The Judgment Day you can see in the background laughing, enjoying every moment of it. So, lots on travel there. What do you guys got to say about Dominic Mysterio heel turn that we've seen coming and just took forever to happen?
Finally, that's all that needs to be said.
all I'm going to say is this. My only question is, what the hell took you so long?
Right?
Why didn't you just turn him? Like, okay, when I saw the setup for this, right, I knew something was going to happen here. I knew they were going to turn him. And if you really think about it, it kind of was writing on the wall that it was going to happen here. Because he was going to hit Rhea Ripley with kendo stick.
Right.
And he didn't. That's kind of a heel move. But I would have, but she could take it. But that's okay. But she's had worse. But anyway, I mean, we all knew it wasn't going to happen. You know what I mean? We all knew it wasn't going to happen. But, you know, and they came in and saved him. They've been trying, you know, he's been taking the brunt of the beatings lately. And so it's perfect motivation for him to turn heel. And there you go.
So I got one complaint about it, though. Why the hell wait till after the match instead of have it happen during the match?
Because everyone would expect it to happen during the match. That's why you catch everyone off guard. Oh, we're not going to do it. And then it happens. More shock and awe.
I suppose you're right.
With that question, you also answered your own question, too, if you think about it, Tony. You said, why not wait till during the match? See what I mean? Everybody would have expected that during the match, just like John said. Everyone knew it was going to happen at some point. Why not during the match? Nope. How about after? We think everything's going good. Think everything's great. And if you think about it, that is like the third time someone close to Rey Mysterio turned on him after the match. First Batista.
Yeah. You're right.
Then somebody else, and now Dominic Mysterio. What the hell?
Be interesting to see how they play off of that going forward. I mean, I figured when Dom would turn here at Clash at the Castle, it'd be to join the Judgment Day. It didn't really look that way, though. It looked like he just turned.
Not yet. It's coming.
That could be the key point.
You know what I think?
Is that going to be that he joins the Judgment Day eventually, or is he just...
I think they're going to pull Eddie Guerrero with him. And they're going to have him feud Rey Mysterio. That's what I think.
We'll see.
And I think they're going to have him beat Rey Mysterio. And because what better time to beat? Well, who better to beat than your son beating you? You know what I mean? And what better place to do it than would it be at Extreme Rules? So I think it's going to happen at Extreme Rules. I think it's going to be Dominic versus Rey Mysterio.
I don't think so.
I think it's also going to be because of frustration, which is going to be crazy. If they do the whole bullshit with the whole "I'm sorry, Dad" shit, yeah, I'm done. I'm about to be like, look, I'm about to freaking scream.
I think there will be a match.
What they'll do first.
Rules. It's going to be the Judgment Day with Dominic, Damian, and Finn taking on Edge, Mysterio, and what other legend would be good to bring back for Extreme Rules who's currently a free agent? How about some RVD?
We could do that now.
Probably. Because right now, RVD currently doesn't have a contract, so he's no longer with.
I want to see Beth and Edge versus Rhea and Finn, honestly.
I mean, and it's in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
ECW, RVD, boom. There we go.
Right.
True. How would they fit him in the story?
It wouldn't be too hard. I mean, Ray and RVD are former tag team champions.
Yeah.
Edge and RVD have had their wars, but I think they teamed up at one point as well. So.
Yeah.
So that would mean also RVD is going to be there and eat the pin. Gotcha.
Exactly. Dominic's going to get it.
Do what you do best, Rob. Get everybody's hopes up and then let them all down by taking the pin.
We'll eventually, I'm sure, get a Dominic versus Ray match, but we'll also get a Dominic versus Edge match, I'm sure, at some point as well.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be good.
Max versus hair. Let's get rid of that mullet.
Yeah, right? That looks terrible. All right. Shall we move on?
Am I the only person, by the way, that thinks that Dominic still looks 12?
No.
No. He still looks young.
I know he's like in his 20s, but damn, you look like you're the youngest old man I ever seen in my life. You're going to be 40 years old, still look like you're 10.
He's that middle schooler that ate too much cake growing up.
Yeah.
All right. Move on, shall we? The next match was the, I'd say, most personal match on the card, and would be probably my second favorite match on that happened. Matt Riddle, second or third, but still.
Yeah.
Matt Riddle one-on-one with Seth freaking Rollins. Damn, did they take a turn with this rivalry on Monday night?
I'm just going to say this. I was way more invested than I thought I would be in this match.
Yeah.
Because of that shit that happened on Raw.
Exactly.
That was crazy. I was way too invested in this. I actually wanted Riddle to win. And I actually thought he was going to.
Same.
It looked really good. Like he made
all
Rollins does a really good job. This is the one thing I like about Seth Rollins. He's such a professional at what he does. He can make anybody look good, even in defeat. And he really made you feel for Riddle, man, in this match. That's what he does best. That's how you can tell a true professional. And that, in my opinion, is one of those things where I was like, I wanted Riddle to win. And when he didn't, I was like, damn. I actually felt that one when he lost, man. I actually felt it when he lost. That was crazy. And I haven't got invested in something like that in a long time. So
they put on a really good match here. We've seen Seth using Riddle's moves against him, and even Randy Orton's moves against him, for that matter. You see the Bro Derek to Riddle. You've seen, of course, the draping DDT as well. And Seth looked for the RKO, but didn't hit the RKO. It was definitely an interesting match. You've seen counters to the pedigree. You've seen just about anything and everything, including a steel chair almost get involved in the match, which would lead to the downfall of Riddle. But they had some good spots. I mean, you had to figure at one point Seth Rollins hits that superplex off the top rope. You know the Falcon Arrow's coming because that's what he always does. But Riddle countered with the suplex of his own. So they had their spots that are memorable that you could take away from the match. The end, as mentioned, Riddle grabs the steel chair because his emotions are getting too high because Seth mentioned his family again after beating him on the ground, on the mat, rather. And Riddle misses the chair shot, slides into the ring, gets a curb stomp, but that wasn't enough. Instead, Seth Rollins, I want to say for the first time we've ever seen, goes up to the second rope and hits another stomp off the second rope. Think you've seen the actual connection before?
Yeah, it's been a while though.
Okay.
That was
I can't remember. I couldn't remember seeing him do that before.
He did
feel
that
like
back
he
at
did the KO.
I think he did that back at NXT.
That could be.
Something like that. I know he did that in ROH.
I was almost hoping when I seen him go up to the second rope that Riddle would have countered it with an RKO, but that didn't
I
happen.
thought was gonna happen.
Yeah. That would have been an awesome spot to do it for. Seth gets the win. Afterwards, he says to Riddle, "See you never." I highly doubt that's going to be the case, though. Because I have a feeling these two will face each other again at Extreme Rules. Again, I feel like a lot of the matches that they'll have at Extreme Rules will have to have stipulations to it, because this one definitely would have to.
I look for them to have a couple more matches out of these two. These two have plenty more matches left in them for each other, and I look for this is definitely not over.
Right.
And I'm definitely going to say Extreme Rules. They're definitely having an Extreme Rules match. I see nothing more than potentially either the co-main event or the main event.
Now, I'm not sure it'd be an Extreme Rules match. I think they might do like last man standing between those two, but.
Those two are going to kill each other in that match.
It's gonna be the first ever scooter match.
Sure.
Yeah, he's going to tie him to a scooter. He's going to tie him downwards and put a scooter on him. There you go. He's going to get pinned by a scooter.
Yeah.
For the 10 count.
So, backtrack a little. We'll mention that Shayna Baszler Liv Morgan match. They did say during was the first time those two have actually faced each other one-on-one as well. Okay.
Let's let it be the last time, please. Thank you.
We'll see. Riddle and Rollins, you guys got anything else you want to mention about that match before I move on to the main event? No? Okay. Throughout the show, they would, of course, show several people that were sitting in the crowd. They mentioned Davey Boy Smith's family was there. They didn't actually show the family, but they mentioned them. They showed Brett in the crowd, showed Tyson Fury a couple different times in the crowd.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that.
I'll get into that too.
Several other people they showed in the crowd as well. But before this main event took place, they showed Tyson Fury for the second or third time in the crowd. And they also showed Karrion Kross and Scarlett in the crowd as well. Surprising they didn't get more involved than what they did, but that's not here nor there. You got Drew McIntyre, who was definitely over like Rover, if you will put it that way, in his home country. The crowd was definitely behind him 100% throughout the entire match. Going one-on-one with, of course, the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, God Mode himself, Roman Reigns, for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. 734 days and counting, I'll mention now, as he is still the champion. One hell of a match these two had.
Wow.
Right.
So I'm just going to say this. First of all, it's really good they're finally acknowledging NXT a lot more. That's what I'm going to say. 2, Solo fucking Sikoa, whatever. He's cool as fuck, man. I watched him in NXT. The dude, even when he's getting buried, he's still good. You know what I mean? I knew he was going to go. I knew he was getting called up by the way they were booking him. He was just there until they can find something for him. Obviously, the cousin of Roman Reigns, the brother of the Usos, man.
Yep.
Those guys, I knew about him, it's in his blood, man. Rosie, Jamal, fucking Yokozuna, The Rock, a lot of it. He's got a lot of potential, and the fact that he was the one that screwed McIntyre over, I like it. I like what they did here, and it leads to this can go so many ways. You know what I mean? It could be
fact
so.
that you're going over the NOIA family, and yet you forget to mention Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and you're talking about Solo Sikoa, but you don't mention his and the Usos' father, Rikishi? Come on, man.
Yeah, Rikishi. Yeah, I forgot about Rikishi. I mean, I'm pretty sure even Rikishi.
How do you forget about Rikishi? Have you seen the size of him?
I know, right?
But yeah, the fact that Solo just did that so naturally, this tells me that they got a big plan for him. You know what I mean? A huge plan for him. So I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it. He's going to make his debut very soon. So if you guys have not seen him in action, you're in for a treat, man. You're in for a treat. That guy has a lot. He's got a lot of it factor. He's got a lot of charisma. The guy is an absolute a treat to see in that ring. And it surprised me to see him make his debut there because I knew he was coming. It was all a matter of where and when. So I knew he was just on the roster over there just until they could find what they want to do with him. And I'm glad that he's with the Bloodline now because you already know. You knew he was going to be with the Bloodline. Who else is he going to be with?
Right.
All right.
So,
With
go over
being there and everything, it's going to be interesting.
Yes. We go over some spots that happen in the match, not just the end of it there. Too many spots, not to mention, yes, we'll get to that part too. You got to Roman Reigns nailed the spear. Drew kicked out. Drew would hit a spear to Roman through the barricade at one point. You'd see another spear that would be kicked out of from Roman to Drew. Missing the Claymore on multiple occasions. He would hit the Claymore to the back of the head, knock referee Charles Robinson out of the ring. And that's when you'd have Austin Theory come out thinking he's going to cash in Money in the Bank. Where at that point, as John mentioning here, he would be
Tyson
a right
Fury's
hand from
fist.
Tyson Fury.
Boom.
Tyson says, "No, you're not ruining this match. Get out of here, kid." From there, you see the spear. You see another Claymore. The referee's in there. The Claymore referee that Theory brought out goes in the ring to make the count. 1, 2. That's where he gets pulled out. Solo Sikoa is revealed as who did it. You get a third spear. Roman Reigns gets a 1, 2, 3. I do want to mention also during that match, Roman did have the guillotine locked in, and I believe Drew was the first person, not only once, but twice, to get out of that guillotine.
I think they're going to eventually put the belt on Drew, just not now.
Probably. At least one of them, if not both.
Yeah, it's all a matter of which one, though. He's most likely going to win the wrong one, most likely.
And another point to bring up from the match, Karrion Kross did throw a water bottle at Drew when Drew had to get into the match. Drew kind of got in Karrion's face, but you never seen Karrion Kross and Scarlett again during the match. So
that was just his way of saying stay hydrated.
Exactly.
I mean, he could have been like Cameron Jackson and just stopped in the middle of the match and just drank some water.
Yeah.
And then spit the water in his face.
So, hell of a match those two had. I'm just glad that we actually had a Roman and Drew match that actually got some build towards it because I felt like we got slighted of that when they had their match at Survivor Series, a couple of years ago because Drew had to win the title back from Randy the week beforehand and didn't have much build towards it. But
we're going to just pretend like that never happened.
Agreed.
Yeah, they had a great Survivor Series match.
It didn't make sense for him to lose it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It didn't make sense for
Why
Drew.
make him lose the belt to Randy only for him to get it back before Survivor Series and then lose it again and wonder why his push didn't go very well? I don't know why. well, people aren't really feeling what McIntyre is doing. They were until you did that dumb shit. But anyway.
Yeah, I won't mention. I did like that the fact that earlier on in the match they did have Drew kicking out at 1 again, like he did so many times leading up to his first WWE title win. But
This is true.
that was a nice touch.
And we also got to mention the MVP in that whole match too, Tyson Fury coming in there and singing American Pie at the end of the match.
After the match, yeah.
Great after show concert.
Yeah.
And then Drew just took it away with more songs.
Yep. That was definitely a different way to close out a premium live event. Drew getting back up and singing like nothing just happened.
Yeah, I totally didn't get my ass kicked. Nope, not at all. I mean, yeah, I didn't get three spears. So let's go ahead and have fun.
Right. So the next time we see Roman Reigns will probably not be until in a premium live event, excuse me, because it'll probably be on SmackDown's leading into it. Probably won't be until either Crown Jewel in the beginning of October or November, or Survivor Series. One of those two. Because he's not going to be in Philadelphia. I've already seen that on social media.
We're just going to pretend like Crown Jewel doesn't exist, okay? Okay, cool.
Too bad we're not going to be able to. I've heard a rumor that I don't know who exactly it was. I didn't read it, but Brock Lesnar might be returning for Crown Jewel as well.
Oh, what a shocker.
I mean, why not?
Shocker there.
You get the big money when you go to Crown Jewel. And
Can I just lay on money on him showing up? Let's put $500 down on Brock Lesnar appearance. Woo!
Right?
Yeah, but that's still not going to convince me to order Crown Jewel.
I'll watch it.
Still not watching that shit.
I'm probably at work.
You already know how I feel and my reasons for not watching that shit. But
Clash at the Castle was a pretty good show, nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm not going to bring
more
that
Cardiff
up
shows.
here. Yeah.
Was that John?
They need to do more Cardiff shows. That crowd was so epic. We need more of that.
Right?
We do.
Well, we don't get crowds like that all the time.
Yeah, the only time we actually get crowds like that is when we hit Chicago or New York. Like that crowd was absolutely lit. I think they just like to see wrestling because in the UK they don't get a lot of wrestling.
Back when they had WrestleMania in New Orleans, that was a pretty lit crowd too.
Yeah, it was.
But again, that was WrestleMania, so.
Man.
It did sound like from the press conference that they were doing after Clash at the Castle. I caught a little bit of it and read about it. Triple H is planning on doing more events outside of the U.S. and is looking to see where people want to see WWE go, what arenas and what countries and everything else. So.
I guarantee you they'll be in Australia at some point.
Well, they just had Super Showdown in Australia a couple of years ago, so I'm sure they will.
Oh, that was in Australia. Whoops, my bad.
That's where DX went against the Brothers of Destruction.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Shawn Michaels did wrestle that match.
Yeah.
We're just going to pretend like he didn't wrestle, okay? We're just going to pretend like Showdown.
And that match was kind of bad, but
that was just that match.
The whole
was
pay-per-view was.
I mean, it's not Goldberg versus The Undertaker bad, but it's still pretty bad.
Wow.
I mean, of all the bad matches, I would put do we really want to see a 95-year-old Undertaker versus a 98-year-old freaking Goldberg? No, I don't think so.
So, I do want to mention there was some breaking news on social media after the event as well. I don't have it on here, though. The Miz issued a challenge on Twitter. Sent out a video to Bobby Lashley. He wants a match against Lashley again this upcoming Monday on Raw for the United States Championship, but he wanted it contested inside a 15-foot high steel cage.
Oh, so Dexter Lumis doesn't get to him?
Pretty much. To which Bobby Lashley would send out a report and said not that he feels like Miz deserves a title shot, but because he feels like the U.S. title should be defended, he accepted.
Good job, Lashley.
It will be
You know
Miz
what?
and Lashley inside a
I don't
15
know why, I'm this fucking interested in this Dexter Lumis storyline. But did I laugh? Am I the only person that laughed my ass off when fucking Miz got captured?
No.
I laughed. I'm like, what are you doing? Are you that out of? Do you not know what to do with Miz that much? You getting a stalker now? You beat John Cena at WrestleMania, but damn it if you can't just get rid of your stalker. We got that freaking Diamond Dallas Page shit going on now again. Here we go. It's only a matter of time for Dexter Lumis comes out smiling saying, I like me, you like me, and I can help you like you. Please no. Oh God, I just got a freaking mental.
What's next? Dexter Lumis and Indy Hartwell versus Miz and Maurice?
That'd be cool. Yes, please.
I'd pay to see that match.
I mean, I just want to see Indy Hartwell.
Yeah, that too.
I'm sorry, but if I was into women, I would definitely try to get with her for sure. That would be the girl I'd be into. Just saying.
All right. So shall we move on now? We spent an hour talking about Clash. We'll spend a little less than that talking about this next show. So, tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, 3:30 Eastern will be the kickoff show. But 4 o'clock Eastern Time will be the start for NXT Worlds Collide. They got 5 matches on the card. Pretty interesting matches at that, too. And we'll jump into it here in just a second once I got things showing here.
While he's getting his stuff all set up, I just want to point out I have been very out of the loop when it comes to NXT since it got rebranded as 2.0. So,
well, you don't have to necessarily know everything about NXT to know people that are in this event. So
that is the worst name change ever.
Oh, you mean from KC Catanzaro to Katana Chance?
Yeah.
I know, right? But anyway, the first match we're going to talk about is this match. A lot of these matches were just made on NXT on Tuesday night. 3 of the 5 were. This one was one of them. We got Raw's Nikki ASH and Doudrop making their kind of return to NXT. More so for Nikki than it is Doudrop, who was just in NXT UK. But this is whole NXT versus NXT UK situation for Worlds Collide. Going up against Katana Chance and Kaden Carter for the NXT Women's Tag Team titles.
So basically, we have Catanzaro and Carter taking on Nicolette Glencross and Piper Niven.
Yeah, you can call that.
Shocked I remember that.
Right? Nikki Cross.
I don't see no reason why Kaden and Katana shouldn't retain here. You know what I mean? They just brought Nikki and Doudrop here for nostalgia, I feel. And I feel like I'm not going to say it's going to be an easy title defense, but I think that at the end of the day, they're going to do, like, Nikki and Doudrop are going to do what they've been doing the last year, putting other talent over. And I mean, it's kind of sad to say because, you know, I've been following Doudrop since she was Piper Niven, and she has a lot of talent, a lot of potential. And I feel like they really could have done something with her. But at this point now, I've pretty much lost hope. I've already decided, they're just going to put her and Nikki Ash, this stupid fucking Hurricane clone gimmick, whatever the hell she's doing, is just annoying as hell. And stop it, please. You're almost a superhero. Well, I'm almost falling to fucking sleep. Get off my freaking. Don't even get. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, you can go back to Connor, Nikki Cross, but
yeah, Kaden and Katana are going to retain.
Seriously, peeps, bound.
Yeah, I feel like Nikki's going to be the one taking the pin here from Katana. Katana and Kate can retain.
Yeah. I almost am certain that Nikki's going to take a lot of the abuse in this match because they're going to be really safe with Doudrop. And I think she's definitely eating the pin here because she's been eating the pin every other tag team match. So what makes me think this is going to be any different? So
Right.
And ditch the fucking stupid superhero gimmick now. Almost a superhero. Like, who's almost tag team champions? Like, you're either tag team champs or you're not.
Right.
So, this is the best way to describe how this match is going to go. Kind of like their ring names. Nikki Almost Superhero is almost going to actually show up to wrestle, and Doudrop's just going to drop like she always does. Retain.
Well then.
I just can't stand her new gimmick, dude. I'm sorry. I don't care if Shane Helms approves it. Shane Helms, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know good talent, Shane Helms. Shut up. This is the same dude that backs Shannon Moore, who was nothing back in the day. Look at the shit gimmicks he's had. And it sucks, too, because Shannon Moore is a good talent. But I'm going to leave it alone.
Good.
You know, I'm going to go grab my Adderall real quick because I need to chill.
All right. So the next match we got is a fatal four-way match to unify the NXT United Kingdom and the NXT Tag Team Championships. You got Pretty Deadly, Gallus, the NXT UK Tag Team Champions, Briggs and Brent Jensen. Wow. And then you got the Creed Brothers, the NXT Tag Team Champions.
Say that 5 times fast.
How about not?
Okay. Gonna be straight up with you. I only know 2 of these teams. Well, 3 of these teams.
Yeah, I only know 3.
I have heard of Pretty Deadly, but do I know them? No. And
NXT UK Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, they are. I know who Gallus is.
Also,
I want to say Gallus is just there just to be there as extra heads, which sucks because I've seen Gallus wrestle several times, and they.
So who's representing Gallus?
The usual tag team: Mark, Coffey, and Wolfgang.
Okay.
But I really think that I've watched the Creed brothers, and I think it's their time. I think that they're going to give it. I think they're going to give both the belts to the Creed brothers. I really think so. So I want to say the Creed brothers. They've worked hard. They've gotten better. They've improved. And they continue to get better, you know? And that's just me.
I'm going to say that I agree. Julius and the other guy are going to win the title.
Julius and the other guy.
Yeah.
I got to think is the barber. Brutus.
Right. But,
Now,
I mean,
don't get me wrong.
he's just so forgettable, though. Julius is all that matters.
Now,
Right.
again, this is coming from someone with little to no knowledge of NXT UK, with myself here. I know nothing about the NXT UK. So
I haven't watched a whole lot of it over the last 2 years, probably now.
yeah, take what I say under a grain of salt. I'm like that one Twitter mark that always talks about wrestling that knows nothing about wrestling. Yeah, that's me. So
here's where I'm actually going to disagree with you guys. I don't see Pretty Deadly winning the tag titles here. They didn't win the UK tag team titles from Jensen and Brooks a couple weeks ago when they had the chance to. I don't think Jensen and Brooks are walking away with both belts, but I don't think the Creed brothers are either.
Oh, wow.
Gallus walking out on top as the new NXT Tag Team Unified Tag Team Champions. And then the Creed brothers and Gallus will be in a rivalry going forward. Unless Gallus doesn't stick around in NXT, but I think that they probably will be, and I think Gallus is going to be pushed quite heavily as one of the top heel factions in NXT going forward. That's my hot take.
they have the most. Gallus has the most experience in this match too. Like
They do.
all the people, they have the most experience.
Yes,
So,
they do. And I could be wrong. I mean, the Creed brothers could win it, but I'm going to go Dallas there with the victory. Because they've been getting the spotlight shown on them pretty well over the last couple weeks in NXT. So
Really, peeps.
we got a guest. We got a guest in the house.
again, well, let's move on to the next match. This one, I'm definitely looking forward to.
Yes, please.
You see that correctly.
The one
SmackDown
and only.
took the words right out of my mouth. Ricochet going one-on-one with Carmelo Hayes for the NXT North American Championship.
I'm gonna just put it this way. I got a question to ask you for this. So, can you keep up? Because those two are good. It's gonna be a fast match.
They'll be able to keep up with each other anyways, whether or not you can
Those
keep up watching.
Those two are gonna tear the house down. I'm calling it right here, right now. Match of the night, right here. This match right here. I am very familiar with Carmelo Hayes. I am very familiar with Ricochet. Like, I know who both of these people are. I know who Ricochet was since he was Prince Puma. So, of course, I know who he is. Who doesn't? Like, he has had some legendary matches against some legendary people, and this will be no different. So these two are going to be great. But I think, personally, I want Ricochet to win this. But I think you got to also factor in Trick Williams is going to be there. So I think that Carmelo Hayes beats Ricochet thanks to Trick Williams. Not that he needs Trick Williams because he's really good on his own. But
Right.
I mean, you know, you got to do the heel. You got to do heel shit. So I think Carmelo Hayes retains the belt.
What do you got, John?
As much as I want to see Ricochet win this match, it just seems unlikely to me. So I'm gonna have to go with Carmelo Hayes. I mean, it's gonna be like Busta said, it's gonna be a fast-paced match. There's gonna be some great transitions going on, but everything's pointing to Carmelo retaining that title.
All right. I'll keep my response short and sweet. I agree with both of you on this one. I think, like Busta Boy was saying, it'd be nice to see Ricochet with some gold again. But I don't see Ricochet sticking around in NXT. So I got to go with Carmelo retaining the North American Championship going forward as the A champion still. But yes, I agree as well. This will be the match of the night more than likely. These two guys are incredible in the ring. They can move fast. Might, like Busta Boy said, might come down to Trick Williams getting involved. Might not. We'll see. But you know Ricochet is going to get more spotlight shown, so to speak, in this match than what he had at times on the main roster under Vince. Because Triple H treated him very well when he was in.
I mean, he's going to get more spotlights in this match than his title run.
Right? All right. Moving on. Where you got that? The scrolling at the bottom. The next match, the triple threat match for the NXT UK and the NXT Women's Championships. You got NXT UK's Blair Davenport, the NXT UK Women's Champion Meiko Satomura, and the NXT Women's Champion, the leader of Toxic Attraction herself, Mandy Rose.
Okay. This is going to be a little weird. As I've told you, I don't really watch a lot of NXT since they changed over to 2.0. And I also have went on the record multiple times on how I feel about Mandy Skanky Rose.
That's how you really feel.
I do know who she is. And I'm sick of her. She's annoying. Stop it. Smart Money would make her lose the belt tonight. Well, on the 4th. For my own sanity, for the love of Jesus, Buddha, or whatever God you believe in, do not have her win both those belts. Oh, I will go ape shit. Because in my opinion, she's not that good. She never was. Even when she's just another ugly little blonde-haired, prissy little bitch who's not that good. She's trash. Her movesets are the same. Her promos are the same. They don't improve. Nothing improves with her. Have her drop the belt. Both of them. So, well, have her drop that belt in Toxic Attraction. There's nothing attractive about that. But anyway, prediction. Yeah, you know I had to tangent once. Mako, smart money would have Mako win it. But in my opinion, I think that the underdog's going to win this, and that's Blair Davenport. She's going to win them both. It's her time, and I think Mandy's going to take the pin, and in that way, it'll be Blair and Mako feuding for both belts. Just for the love of God, just have Mandy eat a pin, please, so she can go back to her blonde hair because she's ugly as hell still. Anyway, go ahead.
I like her better as a brunette myself, but that's me.
I think she's hotter as a brunette. Yeah.
Just eye candy to me, who doesn't improve. She's boring on the mic. But anyway,
I'd somewhat agree with you on that. But
she's so boring. Her promos are all the same. I'm the greatest world women's champion of all time. Comes out the very next week. I'm the greatest women's champion of all time. The next week again, I'm the greatest women's champion of all time. Hey, everybody, she's saying she's the greatest women's champion of all time. Get used to that.
And she could have won a championship, so she went back to NXT.
Mm-hmm. And she couldn't hang with the real superstars, so she had to go over to NXT because they couldn't find good women on there. So they just put a belt on her.
anyway, John, who you got?
Well, I'm going to go with the former blonde bimbo, the now brunette bimbo. So I think she's going to retain only because I think Indy is going to come out and distract the chick in the middle.
Blair.
Yeah, that one. And I think it's going to cause her to eat the pin, and somehow I think Mandy's going to steal one. It's going to be a dirty finish. There's not going to be a clean finish in this match.
Nice. How dirty you can get in a triple threat match when there's no disqualifications, I don't know. Oh, but anyway,
there's no gelatin or mud wrestling. So
I mean, this is the same place that had no contest and a no DQ Hell in a Cell match. So,
right.
But what do we know?
So I'd like to say I got Miko Satomura winning here, but I'm not sure she's staying stateside, so I'm not gonna go with Miko. If either one of those two won it, it'd be Blair, but I'm going to agree with John here. I feel like Mandy Rose is going to win here and be the UK and NXT Women's Champion. With help from Toxic Attraction, if nothing else. And I'm sure Gigi and JC will be there.
I love watching Mako, but it's all a matter of if she signs. You know what I mean? And I don't think she's going to sign another one when they merge over to Europe. And that's what it really boils down to, I think, in my opinion.
Right.
That's unfortunate, too, because Mako's really good. I have seen her, actually. I liked her match with I love her match with Kaylee Ray. I love her as women's champion. I've seen her wrestle a few times, actually. She's really good.
Player.
Yeah, she's really good. So
I don't see the final boss taking the pinfall loss there.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And here we go with the main event of NXT Worlds Collide. We got the NXT United Kingdom champion, the first and last, as they keep calling him, Tyler Bate, versus the NXT champion, the son of the dog-based gremlin, of course, Rick Steiner, Ron Breakker.
This is going to be interesting. I'm very familiar with Tyler Bate and Trent Seven, both of them. In fact, I love Tyler Bate and Trent Seven. They're really good in that ring. And I think those two are going to rip each other apart. I think those two are going to tear the house down, and it's going to be a main event caliber match because Tyler Bate has been in there with Wars. He's been in there with Walter. He ain't afraid of Braun Breaker. He's used to people being bigger than him. You know, he's been in there. He's been in Wars with Pete Dunne. He's been in there with Walter. He's not. I think he's going to really take it. I think he's going to really take it to Braun Breaker, and I think this will be a real test for him. But I don't think that Tyler Bate is re-signing again. I don't think he's going to want to go to the Europe one. But so I think that Braun Breaker is going to carry both of those. Because, you know, they're going to want to push Rick Steiner's kid pretty heavy. So I think, plus he's good. He's proven that he's more than just Rick Steiner's kid. He's better. But that's just me.
Yeah, John.
I just hope this match is better than the Braun Breaker Jordan Devlin match.
It was decent, but
it was decent, but with the caliber you have with Tyler Bate, it needs to go above that and beyond. But I still say the outcome is going to be the same. Ron's picking it up.
So I think, from my end here, that Tyler Bate is going to be either in NXT Europe or stay stateside for NXT. But when it's all said and done, when this match is over, I'm going to agree with both of you. I got Braun Breaker winning. They're pushing Braun to the moon. I don't know who will be next after Tyler, but
did you just say it's going to be Cameron Grimes with your to the moon?
No. Cameron Grimes got nothing to do with this. But Cameron Grimes already had his opportunity, so it won't be Cameron Grimes up next for Braun, I'm sure.
Won't be Solo either.
You're right. It looks like he's going to SmackDown. But it should be an interesting show. And we'll see where the chips lie at the end of it, so as to speak. I'm going to see.
You know it's going to be a good match because it's Tyler Bate, so, you know, he can pull it off. He's been in there with bigger people than him and pulled it off.
I mean, it was interesting to see on NXT this past week that they brought in Fowler and Gunther and Pete Dunne on tablet, but still had them guys talking to him, and Shayna Baszler, as we mentioned earlier, came in and talked to Mandy, and Rhea Ripley was there talking to Blair, I believe it was, in the backstage area. So.
And you had Ciampa with.
It was nice to see him kind of intertwine.
Yeah,
Ciampa in there with Braun as well.
You mind if I
building up the lineage? What's that?
You mind if I hold Goldie for a second?
Yeah, right. What do they do? No, they don't do the cards on there, do they? All right. So that's NXT. They start at 4. They'll probably be done by the time they get to the next show, which take that off. I'm sure NXT will reign supreme for the most part on that show.
Of course, you know, I'll be watching both of them, so.
I unfortunately will be at work because they waited till the last minute to announce when NXT World Collide would take place. So, but I'll catch it at some point afterwards.
I'm on vacation, so I'll probably watch it live.
Yeah, I'll be watching both of them. maybe if I don't forget about them, like I always do. So probably get too busy playing my game, speed running, like I always do.
So I want to bring up something different. Because they don't have the match cards on their website. Uh-huh.
Well, obviously they're slacking then.
Well, it's a different company, so they don't do their match cards under their.
If only we knew a certain person that. If only we knew a certain person that could run a good football team better than they could run a good company. I don't know who that could be.
All right.
Could they win a game, yet alone, could they win a game at least?
They did win 2 last season.
Oh, wow. If only we had another team in Florida that was actually really good. Wouldn't be the Gators at all, would they? Sucked that last year they were like COVID riddled all over the place. So
well, that went to the AEW region. Yeah, I want that.
That totally is not a shot at anybody at all. Nope. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it does.
Oh, wow.
That might help. So, if anybody didn't realize yet, we're transitioning from NXT Worlds Collide to AEW All Out 2022, the 0 hour first. I'm just going to try and keep looking for some pictures here. I found some. I don't know if they'll have them for that, though. Well, I only had 3 of the matches. Really? Really? Why? All right. So, I'll start off. Hopefully you guys won't need pictures. We'll just talk as I'm looking. First match we're going to talk about is, there was 4 matches made, by the way, for this 0 hour, their pre-show. Have no clue how they can only do 1 hour with 4 matches, but they're going to be really short matches. Cool Hand Ange, as they call him, from the Jericho Appreciation Society, Angelo Parker, will be facing Hook for the FTW Championship.
I mean, we all know that the Jericho Appreciation Society is definitely beating Hook. No, I'm joking. No, but Hook is definitely going to win this one.
Hook,
The undefeated
line,
Hook.
and sinker.
Wow. Terrible. I got Hook winning as well. Even with Matt Menard getting involved. I really wanted to find these match cards. Well, don't do that. Hook will keep his undefeated streak going. And we'll move on from there to Trash You. The rematch. As we got Tomohiro Ishii going one-on-one with Eddie Kingston.
Okay.
Originally, so I'll bring up a little bit on this match. Originally, Eddie Kingston was supposed to be in a different match on All Out. He was supposed to go one-on-one with Sammy Guevara. Originally, Eddie Kingston was supposed to be in a different match on All Out. Now, the reason that didn't happen, of course, we know, or maybe you guys.
There we go. I'm back now. My damn computer froze on me.
Didn't even realize. Anyway, Sammy Guevara called Eddie Kingston apparently in a promo that didn't air a fat piece of shit, and Eddie flew off the handle from that. And backstage, they had their issues. Eddie did some things he shouldn't have done. Got suspended for a couple weeks. That match got pulled. Eddie is now getting the match with Tomohiro Ishii instead, and Sami's in a different match.
I gotta leave the studio, go back in. I'll be back.
Well, on that note, okay, I'm gonna have to go with I don't know. Go either way with this match.
All right.
I guess my gut's telling me Eddie Kingston's gonna win it.
And
I don't think this match should be on the dark hour though.
no, you think it should have been on the main show?
Yeah.
Fact is, they've got 13 matches, I think, already on the main show.
I feel like out of the two that we talked about that are going to
You
be
know
in the first hour, this is by far the bigger match.
Right. I'm gonna check something out here. They might do the same thing to me that WWE did, though. That's the thing I'm afraid of. But we're gonna see if it'll let me. I know they have match cards. Oh, I'll let him back in. There you go.
Okay, my stupid computer, my Google Chrome actually decided to pull a freaking Tony Khan on me and be an absolute dunce cap.
Wow.
Damn.
So, speaking of Tony Khan, in case nobody heard me, I predicted that Hook was going to win that match.
Yeah, we caught that.
Okay, good, because that's where mine froze. My Google Chrome decided to be an absolute useless piece of crap. But anyway, I didn't miss much, did I?
No, you just missed that we all three agreed that Hook was going to win.
Okay.
And beyond that, John was saying that he's got Eddie Kingston beating Tomohiro Ishii and that it shouldn't be on the pre-show.
Well, seeing how AEW doesn't know how to treat their Japanese talent, much like most of professional wrestling these days, that isn't New Japan Pro Wrestling, I don't see Ishii winning this, even though he's very talented and could easily do it. But, they're probably most likely going to give Eddie Kingston a win here. So that's what I want Ishii to win because he's really, really freaking good. But I doubt he's going to. So I'm gonna go with Kingston on this one.
So my feeling on it is Ishii, I believe, won the last match that Kingston and Ishii had. So I feel like Eddie Kingston is going to get the revenge, so as to speak here, and will win the match as well.
Because 50-50 booking for the win.
Yep. 50-50. We all know it. Aha! I might have got somewhere.
That's AEW and their damn 50-50 booking. That's what they love to do.
All right. So, bear with me here. So that's that match. I'm actually going to do these two the opposite way here. I'm going to do... No. Aha. Might show that a picture of one of the matches we already did. There we go. The next match to talk about. We got Kip Sabian one-on-one with Pac for the AEW All-Atlantic Championship.
Who's the champion? We're champion.
And there's the reveal of Kip Sabian. Kip Sabian, who's been out of action for well over a year with an injury, and they have in his return match, as we've seen in the World Trios tournament. He cost Pac and Lucha Brothers their match in the semifinals to advance, and from that, apparently Kip Sabian's been in Pac's shit ever since Pac won the title. So this is where we go to from there. And this is also on the 0 hour.
I'm gonna go with Neville for the win. I mean Pac. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're going with the man that gravity forgot, or are you going with the bastard?
I'm gonna go with the one that was technically.
I want to go with the man that everybody forgot. So.
Oh, you go with Kip Sabian.
Well, I mean, those two are going to tear the house down. Those two are really good at what they do. But
Just no one remembers it though.
yeah, it's the man that everybody forgot. The bastard pack. I think he's going to definitely retain this. It's going to be good, but I think they want to add a little bit more prestige to the championship. So he's still the first, so they can't take that away from him. But he doesn't want to be the shortest reigning, because if Kip Sabian gets that belt, he's not going to lose it for a long time. But 50-50 booking for the win. So that means we're going to get Kip Sabian versus Pac for like 30 times. So,
I'm just glad they got Pac on an actual AEW programming defending the title instead of doing it.
Yeah, but it doesn't count.
Country.
It's dark hour. It doesn't count.
Yeah, but still, he's actually in the arena defending the title instead of them showing on Dark or Dark Elevation that he defended it some other country on some other show.
yeah, it's the 12 people, the 2 people that watch Dark, yeah, cool.
Yeah, right.
They get to watch. We get, my boy.
We the champ. We the champ.
Down. So you already know.
We're over that one already. That should bring us to oh, nope, it didn't. So we'll go back to that one in a minute because I'm not ready for that one. So, probably because it was just made last night. The fourth and final match that they have on the 0 Hour show is the AAA World Mixed Tag Team titles online, as Sammy Guevara and Ty Mello defend against Ruby Soho and Ortiz in a rematch from last week's Rampage and this week's Rampage.
Really?
Yes,
this
really.
is what Ruby Soho has been reduced to?
Yep.
Really? So you're defending a belt that nobody cares about on a show that nobody watches. Awesome. Cool. I'm just going to stick to my guns here and say that Sammy and whatever that thing is supposed to be his wife is going to retain the belt. So
I second that.
I don't like blondes. I'm sorry. I'm not sexist. I just don't like blondes. I don't find them attractive. Notice the 2 wrestlers I don't like are blonde. Notice that?
But you don't like Mandy Rose, and she's a brunette now.
No, that bitch can go on somewhere. But anyway, don't get me started. Okay, I would much rather deal with Tay or whatever the fuck her name is than Mandy Rose. Whatever. At least she can actually wrestle, though. That's the one thing I will give her. Like, I'm not like, all bullshit aside, though. At least with her versus Mandy, there's no. The only blonde that's actually a good wrestler is Angelina Love. So, just saying, she's a good wrestler. She's out of control with her wrestling. Just saying. But anyway, she's out of control with some other things, but we're gonna leave that alone. But anyway, yeah, I'm thinking that because of course they're not gonna give Ruby Soho a title, because they had a chance to do that when she was first in the company and they dropped the ball. Hold on, y'all hear something? I hear some bouncing. I hear the sound of bouncing. Oh, that's just AEW dropping the ball again. Okay, go ahead.
Alrighty then. That's your opinion on that. Gotcha.
There's some bouncing going on in here too. That's still them just dropping the ball on people. Okay, cool. Something that Tony Khan's not used to, balls dropping.
Oh, ouch.
Okay. Anyway, moving forward.
But if
I'm gonna
football
piss
team's
off
used
the
to it,
marks. I better be careful. I'm gonna piss off the marks. Anyway,
I mean, Tony Khan might not be used to it, but his Jacksonville Jaguars sure are.
I better be careful because they ain't touched the ball in a long time. Every time they do, they lose it. So, but better be careful. Wouldn't want to get you struck. Wouldn't want to get your copy struck for criticism. Oh no! Heaven forbid you can't criticize a wrestling show. Can't be bad. It's got to be good. Anyway, going forward.
Moving forward to the actual all-out event.
Oh, cool. So that would be like the third hour. It's 3 hours of the
No, that would be day
warm
2.
up. And then
JR
at
did
2 o'clock in
make a
the
little
morning.
dig
Yeah. Then at 2 o'clock in the morning, we'll have the actual show. Okay, cool.
JR did make a little dig at it, asking if it was an 8-hour show with all these matches during Rampage. So
It's not going to be an 8-hour show. It's going to be a 12-hour show.
right. Here's the first match we're going to talk about on the actual show. We got Powerhouse Hobbs one-on-one with Ricky Starks.
Oh, good. It's just like Jason Statham versus Dwayne Rock in Fast and Furious again.
For a minute there, I thought it said Hobbs versus Shaw. But
No, Hobbs versus Starks. Wow.
No, I can't do Ricky Starks like that, man. I've been following him since NWA, man. He's cool as hell, dude. I like Ricky Starks. The dude is really talented. Like, honestly, I can't do him like that. Smart money would be for Starks to win this one because he needs a win right now. But most likely, seeing how Tony Khan's got a hard on for big people like Vince did at one point, I think that Hobbs is probably going to win this one. But smart money would let Starks win it. But I think Hobbs is going to win this one because right now he's like white hot right now, and he just got repackaged.
I'm going to go with Hobbs winning. It's going to be a powerhouse performance.
He breaks backs.
You both got Powerhouse Hobbs winning, huh?
Yep.
But he breaks backs. His shirt says so.
Well, I'm gonna have to disagree with you both on this one.
Like Tony Khan breaks banks. But okay.
So I'm gonna go with Ricky pulling out the victory somehow in this one. Not very easily, and Powerhouse Hobbs will of course go after the net quite a bit in the match, but I think when it's all said and done, I think Starks is picking up the victory here, trying to build some more momentum his way after losing his FTW title.
Yeah, he breaks backs.
We shall see. This is in no particular order. It's just an order I put it in. So I'm just going to find where we got these. Bear with me. And they don't have that either. Shame on them. All right. There's the next match that we're going to talk about. 6-man tag match. The first of like 3 6-man tag matches on this show, by the way. The House of Black, Brody King, Buddy Matthews, and Malachi Black with Julia Hart in their corner, who's that picture there, facing off against the Redeemer Miro, Darby Allin, and the Icon Sting. A little interesting tidbit I want to throw out there before we mention predictions for this match. Rumor has it that Malachi Black actually did ask for his release from AEW, was not granted it, but he was calling for pretty much burnout and feeling like his character wasn't being portrayed the way it should be by Tony Khan. With the just of it.
What a difference a year makes.
Right?
Wasn't this the same person that said that he went there because they understood his character more?
Pretty much. But of course, I mean, Vince McMahon was in charge of WWE back then.
What a difference a year makes. That's
Right.
all I gotta say. Did I mention that? Okay. Damn. We're gonna have to go with let's see, the House of Black needs a win right now, like a big win. And I don't see any reason for Sting to take the pin. He's gonna do like 2 moves the whole match, so then his arthritis is gonna act up, so he's gonna have to leave the match. So, and he's gonna like do something stupid because he's like 90, so he's gonna have to jump off a balcony. So, who's pretty damn good for a 90-year-old with like arthritis and all of his bones. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm sorry. Just try to have a little fun. But I'm gonna have to go with the House of Black winning this one. But the reality is I'm probably gonna have Darby, Sting, and Miro winning this one. I don't think House of Black is winning this. They're gonna have some good matches. They're gonna have some hard hitting stuff. And Brody King's gonna go in there and tear the house down. He's gonna be bullying Darby because Darby's the bump master, so he's gonna take a lot of bumps. So just don't tie him to a chair and kick him off a balcony again, okay?
Yeah.
But other than that, it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, Darby, Sting, and Miro are winning this one because I know they're building something with Miro versus Malachi. So
You got John.
I mean, my gut's saying House of Black is going to get the win here. Don't know why, it just is.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to go with Miro, Sting, and Darby here. I just feel like Miro's getting some revenge, and we'll pin maybe Buddy to win the match. But it will lead to a Malachi and Miro match at some point.
And if worse comes to worse, he can just give him a sermon on how much he's redeemed.
My question for you guys, though, is this the spot where we see Miro's wife finally debut in AEW? Because Julia Hart's going to be out there in the House of Black tour.
No.
She's
too busy. She's too busy making
about it a lot lately.
commercials, so I don't think so.
We'll see. Something to watch for.
She's too busy in Milwaukee with Aiden English.
Maybe. Show. Find it here. There it is. Now this one's personal. You got Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, going one-on-one with Christian Cage. We've seen Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus lost the tag team titles. The Young Bucks in a ladder match. After the match, Christian turned on Jungle Boy. We've seen Luchasaurus briefly pairing with Christian Cage only until Jungle Boy returned and then turning back to Jungle Boy's corner. We haven't really seen Luchasaurus over the last couple of weeks, though, since he headbutted, what was that, Simon Diamond or whoever it was, Pat Kenny, whatever you want to call him, in the backstage area. But Christian's coming in with an injured elbow, arm, whatever it is. Won't be 100%. However, they're still going to have a match. Where do you guys take it from there?
So there's going to be no collar and elbow tie-ups then, huh?
Probably not. Jungle Boy's probably going to go right for the takedown.
He's not going to put any elbow grease in this match, though. I'm predicting that Christian Cage is going to get the dirty pin here, like the dirty win here.
I'm predicting that Christian's going to get the win just because Jungle Boy's emotions get the best of him.
You both make compelling points.
I I'm gonna have a counter. Okay, so I'm gonna have a counter up. See how many times Jungle Boy gets dropped on his head.
Nice. I'm going to say Christian Cage as well, but I think here's the kicker. I feel like Luchasaurus returns and is going to turn his back on Jungle Boy, leading to Christian Cage winning. You actually have a full heel turn for Luchasaurus.
Yeah, he should have just stayed heel in the first place. Like, what was the whole point in turning him back to going with the Jungle Boy just to add unnecessary drama?
Exactly. It's called a ball
stupid.
dropper.
Yeah, it was dumb, man. Man, that bouncing is getting louder and louder, dude. Holy crap. I'm trying to ignore it, but it's hard to ignore that, man. That sound, that ball dropping is just getting louder and louder, man.
All right. The next match we go into the Fatal 4-Way match. This was a newer match added since Thunder Rosa's out with an injury. Apparently, she offered to relinquish the title like CM Punk had done with the AEW World title. Tony Khan said, no need for that. So he'd rather have an interim champion instead. So, we get a Fatal 4-Way match.
Logic, right? When your champion's not there to defend it, when your champion's not there to defend your belt, why drop the belt, right? Yeah, if this would have been anybody, if this would have been a certain individual, they would have caught hell, but I'm not going to say nothing.
Anyway, we've got former women's champions in Hikaru Shida and Dr. Britt Baker, the MD, as well as Jamie Hayter and Toni Storm in this Fatal 4-Way match to crown interim AEW Women's World Champion.
Logically, everything in my power is saying Britt Baker is going to win it. But then I got to think, when Thunder Rosa comes back, Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa, I think we've already seen that. You know what I mean? Sure. So, but I want to say that Toni Storm gets this, and we had Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa for both the belts.
You got it, John.
Busta took the words right out of my mouth. I got Toni. Toni Storm.
Yeah, it's
only three of us. It's Toni time. Yeah. Toni Storm's got to pick up the win here. They're leading towards a rematch between her and Thunder Rosa. I think that's still going to be the plan. Toni Storm winning the title here, holding it until Rosa.
Plus, she shares the same name as you, Tony, just with an I instead of a Y.
I'm going to just spell it differently, but I am a Toni Storm fan and have been since I seen her in NXT UK. So before NXT UK when she was in the Mae Young Classic and won that.
Yeah, and then they completely shit the bed with her. Right now, she doesn't want to come back.
All right. And moving on to the other women's championship match. You got the AEW TBS championship as the War Goddess Athena goes one-on-one with Jade Cargill, the undefeated Jade Cargill, for that TBS championship. I'm starting this one off. I hope to hell Athena wins this match. I'm sick and tired of hearing Jade Cargill talking about how she's undefeated. I just feel like too much of it. It needs to end. Athena's the person to do it. Give the title to Athena.
I agree with you 100%. Athena's got to get the win here. I'm sick of Jade.
See, I want to say this just to piss you off a little bit, Tony. Because I owe you for the Mandy Rose thing. I owe both of you for the Mandy Rose thing. You want to keep messing with me with Mandy Rose. I'm messing with you with Jade Cargill. No, I'm playing. But no, the Jade's getting better. She's improving. And it'll be interesting to see what she can do with her first loss here. So you already know, I can't lie. I'm a mark. I'm a huge mark when it comes to Ember Moon. Everybody knows how I feel about Ember Moon / Athena. I just absolutely love her work in the ring overall. I followed her since Reality of Wrestling. I'm a huge fan, so I gotta go with Athena here. That may be favoritism, but yeah, it's a little biased here. So I want Athena to win this one. Jade Cargill taking the loss here. I mean, stop making her beat all these new women that just came here. Now stop it. You dropped the ball with Maria Shafir. You dropped the ball with her. Do not drop the ball with Athena, or I'm gonna be absolutely pissed. Just saying.
Right.
You dropped the ball with Ruby Soho. You dropped the ball with Shafir. Don't drop the ball with Athena, or I'm again gonna be pissed. Just saying.
The next match. Quite an interesting match. You got the pinnacle, even though they won't call them that, of FTR, Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, as well as a couple other titles that they've got. One of the greatest tag teams in wrestling right now. Teaming up with the TNT champion, Wardlow, to face, in my opinion, probably the greatest tag team in Impact Wrestling history, or TNA history, if you will. And, of course, it doesn't hurt that they're from our state as well. Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, the Motor City Machine Guns, teaming up with their friend, Jay Lethal.
I fucking love the Motor City Machine Guns. I do. I absolutely do. And Smart Money wants to say they're gonna tear the fucking house down. I want Motor City Machine Guns and Jay Lethal to win this one. Right now, FTR doesn't have a challenger for the tag team belts, so it would make sense to use this as a building block for FTR versus Motor City Machine Guns. So eventually later on down the line. So I say FTR eats the pin here. Machine Guns get the win. And eventually it goes for Jay Lethal going for the TNT title and the Motor City Machine Guns going for tag team belts. That's what I say. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
What?
So, I remember watching Impact and all that. It was all about the Motor City Machine Guns. It's still going to be about the Motor City Machine Guns. They're getting the win, and they're going to be the future tag champs. So, Jay Lethal and Motor City Machine Guns for the win.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, I was originally thinking all the way Wardlow and FTR here, but you guys make kind of sense there. Ever since I heard the Motor City Machine Guns were put in this match, I only can think about I want to see the Machine Guns and FTR. I don't think it's a match that's ever happened, and it's something that I think needs to happen. So, like you guys are saying, what better spot to have build to that match than have the Machine Guns either, like, say, Chris Sabin pin Dax Harwood in this match. And then that way it leads into a match eventually down the road between these two teams. Whether or not Jay Lethal gets another TNT title match, who knows? Who cares? But after the match, you can see a Powerbomb Symphony to somebody to give Wardlow his spot. But
now, Tony Khan, don't do what you do best here. Don't do what you do best here and drop the ball like you do everything else. Don't pull a Jacksonville Jaguars and drop the ball. So
I keep calling six-man tag. That's a trios match. My bad. Moving on. Move on to the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. You got the Acclaimed, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, versus the Tag Team Champs Swerve and Our Glory, Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland.
Now, I'm caught in a pickle here. Now, I've been on record on this podcast how I feel about Keith Lee. So it's very open. I'm very open how much I like Keith Lee. So, and Swerve. I also like the Acclaimed. So I'm kind of in a pickle here. The Acclaimed right now are over like you won't believe. Like they are so over, it's not even funny. Like their raps have been hilarious. Their dumpster match with the Bitch Boys were really good. because they carried that match. Let's be honest here. Like father, like son. All right, yeah. Your freaking pappy was a freaking jobber, and now you're turning into a jobber. Anyway, but I mean, I don't know. To be honest, it's kind of a toss-up right now. But I think for now, Swerve in Our Glory retains the belt. But tough call. It's a really tough match to call. Like, this really can go either way. If they were to lose this match at All Out, I'd be okay with that. If they win, I'm okay with that too. But right now, I'm going with Swerve in Our Glory, retaining the belts.
I'm agreeing with that 100%.
So both of you are going with Swerve in Our Glory retaining here, huh? So
Let me guess, you're not.
you're wrong, but I am going to go with Swerve in Our Glory to retain. The Acclaimed are tied with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus with the most wins for a tag team in AEW. However, I feel like this is still early on in Swerve in Our Glory's tag team title reign. I don't see them dropping the titles here. I would like to see the Acclaimed as tag team champions at some point sooner rather than later, but I don't feel like it's going to happen at all.
Can we just say now that we don't have a ranking system? We're tired of this ranking system shit.
The ranking system's so screwed up anyways, in my opinion.
It's dumb.
And then they give matches. Supposedly their ranking system matters, but yet they still give title matches to people who aren't ranked. So what sense does that make?
Or title matches to people who aren't even in the fucking company.
Right.
What is this, New Japan Pro Wrestling? You got like 4 people there getting pushed all at once, and that's it? For like 20 years? But anyway.
So we'll move on. You got one of the biggest matches, I would say, at All Out. You got Lionheart, Chris Jericho, going one-on-one with the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. Battle of JAS versus
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a great match. These two right here, if they were to meet in the WWE, I don't think it would be special. You know what I mean? Both ex-WWE guys right here where they belong. You know, and I think at the end of the day, I think Jericho is going to win this one. It's going to be a tough match, but I do think that Jericho is going to win this one. You'll see why in a little bit. You'll see why. When I pick Jericho.
I'm gonna have to go with Bryan Danielson. I feel like it's gotta happen. I mean, I hate Jericho. And I feel like Jericho needs to lose the match. So yeah.
Perfectly explained there, John.
Thank you.
I'm going to take you back to the last pay-per-view for AEW. We've seen Jericho with Hager use part of the ring ropes, to choke out and beat Bryan Danielson in the JAS versus BCC match. With that being said, we've also seen the build-up towards this match being another person involved in the rivalry who looks up to one as his mentor and has the other as his leader of his faction. And I think that man is going to play a vital part in the finish of this match, just like he played a vital part in Jericho eating the Psycho knee on this past week's Dynamite. That being, of course, Daniel Garcia. And I feel like somebody from the Jericho Appreciation Society, whether it's Hager or another member, is going to try and get involved. Garcia will stop them from getting involved and somehow will help Bryan get the edge and get the win over Chris Jericho. And will therefore also leave the Jericho Appreciation society and join DCC. It just seems like the writing's on the wall for that. Right. Moving on, we got 3 more matches left. The next one is a pretty big one. Once I get to the picture here. The return of the Casino Ladder match. 8 men will vie for a chance to win a future AEW World Championship match. You got tag team specialists in here. You got single stars in here. The 2 tag teams, of course, you got Penta El Zero Miedo and Rey Fenix, the Lucha Brothers in there. You got Andrade El Idolo and Rush in there. Dante Martin, the Ring of Honor Pure Champion, Wheeler Yuta, and of course the Ring of Honor World Champion, Claudio Castagnoli, and a mystery competitor, who I've heard there could be 2 possible people filling that spot.
Now, I will tell you, with rumors that's been going on with Andrade and that tweet that he tweeted out today that said out, it sounds to me like he's leaving because I know he's not happy with the way he's been treated in AEW and booked and stuff, which I don't blame him. Yeah, I think he's been booked like shit, if I'm being honest. Been booked terribly. But that, with that being said, I know Claudio ain't winning for sure. He's the Ring of Honor champion. So they're going to need him down there for more prestige on that championship. But it's definitely going to last longer than his title defense, which was 11 minutes. Definitely going to last longer than that and be more interesting. But I don't think I think it's going to boil down to either Wheeler Yuta, Dante Martin, or Pentagon. I'm a huge Pentagon fan. I think he really needs a win here. You know, so if I'm picking somebody to win this, I want him to win this because he needs it right now. He's a huge win right now.
Well, I know I'm definitely disagreeing with Busta Boy.
Definitely not winning it. No Joker ever. So
it's definitely with my main man Vacant.
Vacant's awesome.
Yeah, the best wrestler ever.
Yeah, he's held every title.
I know, right? I mean,
he's even held multiple titles at the same time. So
true.
Do you want me to say who I think Vacant will be?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably gonna get a lot of crap for this one, but I think it's gonna be the return of MJF.
Probably.
So, rumor mill.
By the way, Tony's looking, I might be right.
Rumor mill is that MJF probably will be that mystery person in this match. So, you're probably right on that one. There could be W. Morrissey. We've seen return on Dynamite. He could take that spot. I mean, there's plenty of wrestlers on the AEW roster that aren't in matches that could fill that spot. But it just feels like MJF probably is the person that they'll put in here, have them win it. He'll go on to get that world title shot sooner than later. I know there was somebody else that they had mentioned possibly could be that spot too. I can't think of who it was, but MJF seems like the most likely person to be filling that vacant spot.
If it is MJF, he's definitely. I see no reason why he was not winning that.
Yeah, MJF winning it as vacant competitor. If not, I'd go with Claudio to win. Otherwise, those are my 2 picks. But I mean,
if it's not MJF, then I'm definitely going to go with Pentagon. He deserves it. He hasn't gotten jack diddly shit since he's gotten there. Like, he's won tag team gold, but that's about it.
I mean, if it's not MJF, I'm still going with the Vacant because there's a good chance he'll still win no matter who it is.
It's a very good chance to. But.
You know, here's the funny thing. Here's a little fun fact for you. I have never gotten a Money in the Bank ladder match prediction right, and I've also never gotten a casino ladder match right. So, just thought I would throw that out there. Why? Exactly.
Because they're unpredictable and you got a lot of competitors in there and you never know who could be doing it.
Otis.
So they didn't have... Huh?
Like when Otis won Money in the Bank?
Oh, yeah. Because anybody would have actually predicted he would win. Lord.
Oh, God.
So this match was just made official last night on Rampage, so that'd be why they probably didn't have the picture here. But we got the finals of the AEW World Trios Tag Team Tournament to crown AEW's first World Trios Tag Team Champions, or World Trios Champions. You got Hangman Adam Page, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver of the Dark Order. On one side, you got the young... Splash Black. I left it open for you. The young...
Oh, the Young Fucks.
There you go. And
The
Kenny
most
Omega.
overrated tag team of all time.
The Elite on the other side.
Elite. Don't even get me started on them. But anyway. Elite.
So, if we're going through it, the Elite picked up their 2 wins on Dynamite, and Hangman and the Dark Order just won on Rampage because Hangman took place at 10.
There's no reason why the freaking Elite shouldn't pick up a win here. As much as I don't like them, I like Kenny Omega, so I'm gonna have to go with them simply because I like Kenny. And even though he's legit like not 100%, you know he's not gonna be taking crazy bumps in this match. So, but I like how he's selling some of the injuries too. Like he's selling a lot of the injuries, but some of it could be genuine, some of it could be him selling. You know, like some of it could be genuine, some of it could be just him just overselling. You know, but I'm predicting that the Elite, they were the first ever AEW tag team champs, so why not make them the AEW trios tag team champs?
No. The first ever AEW tag team champions were Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I almost forgot about them. They've been so irrelevant since winning those belts. I almost forgot they existed. They were on the roster still.
Surprisingly, the Elite only technically was the first ever champion once in AEW so far. That was when Cody was the first ever TNT champion.
Well, then they should definitely win these for sure. I think they're going to do it. I think as much as I don't really like Adam Page or the Elite, it all comes down to who I like the least, and I'm going to have to go with them as the winner because if I know Tony Khan, like I think I know him, he's going to do that just to be an asshole because he knows nobody likes the fucking Young Bucks, so he's probably going to put the belts on them just to be an asshole.
So who you got, John?
Busta, I'm gonna need your help with this. I'm going Hangman and the Young what?
Oh, the Young Fucks.
Yeah.
Well, the Young Bucks aren't with Hangman; they're with Kenny. Hangman's with the Dark Order.
My bad.
The Young Bucks wanted Hangman.
You made me do the Young Fucks for no reason. You just wanted me to do that just because.
It is true. But no, I do think the Young Bucks are going.
Traditional salute. Fuck the Young Bucks. Anyway.
There we go. So who'd you say, John?
The Young Bucks over there with.
And Kenny?
Yeah, that one.
The Elite.
Elite. Yeah, they're elite, all right. They're elite
is sucking.
Anyway. And you know what? It's Jim Cornette's favorite guy, Twinkle Toes. So there you go.
I feel like
Toes.
Kenny Omega is going to get the win here for the Elite, and probably will pin Alex Reynolds to win the tag titles, the trios titles.
Yeah, most likely. You know Adam Page ain't taking the pin here, so.
How no?
Probably most likely going to be John Silver again taking the pin.
at the main event. Time later.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This match is wrong on so many levels. Like, that's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, do tell.
Punk
Come
and
on, you
Moxley,
can't leave us
this
hanging there.
match is so wrong in so many levels. But I'm gonna leave it alone. First of all, the build for this match was fucking stupid.
CM Punk and Moxley. Yeah. Agreed.
First of all, the build for this match was fucking stupid. How are you going to have him get injured just for them to have the match again anyway?
It's that 50-50 booking.
It's like, yeah,
Right.
hey, by the way, if only I knew a certain individual that knew how to run a football team better than they knew how to book matches. I'll let you know when I find them. Until then, I guess I have to deal with this dimwit with too much money that doesn't know how to book matches. For starters, so much of this fucking shit is wrong, like on so many levels. First of all, if you had every intention of having Moxley win the match, okay, fine. I'm cool with that. But it didn't help anybody because what's the whole point when you're just going to have the original match at the pay-per-view anyway?
I agree with that. It was to draw interest.
Stupid. What was the whole point? And he was injured. You're not even injured. Because why did you come out anyway in the first place to sign the contract when you were injured? You're not injured then. If only you spent time, instead of being the Ryback of AEW, why don't you actually spend some time on some good booking, Punk? Because you haven't made no noise since you've been in AEW. So stop being a crybaby bitch like a certain little person named Ryback. Oh, wait. The same guy that quote-unquote injured you because he was unsafe. Still crying about that, I see. But I'm predicting that Cryback is probably most likely going to win the belt back, which would make no sense. It's going to piss a lot of people off. But if it's smart, they would keep the belt on Moxley. But most likely, Tony Khan, has to put it on the moneymaker. So he's going to have Cryback win the belt. So, okay, I'm done now.
Well, if MJF is winning the ladder match and getting a title shot, I see it more obvious to them building towards MJF and Punk than seeing Moxley and MJF. So I'd have to say Punk's going to win this.
Mm-hmm. And it's in his hometown, so now he doesn't have to cry no more.
Let's see. Jon Moxley won in his home of Ohio, his home state of Ohio. Somebody likes to do 50-50 booking like Vince McMahon used to. So yeah, I'm gonna agree. CM Punk's winning the AEW World Championship here in Chicago at All Out to walk out as AEW World Champion.
Don't
and
you
Jon
mean
Moxley
the
will for the first
Cryback?
time be pinned as AEW champion.
Yep, the modern day Cryback. So MJF, please win the belt. Just saying.
I don't agree with the Ryback statement. I do agree that CM Punk will win the title here and will drop it eventually to MJF.
Oh my goodness!
The
booking of this match was just so bad, dude. It was cringe. Like, I have not seen this much cringe. Even TikTok doesn't have this much cringe, for Christ's sake. It was terrible. Like, why? Why did you book it like this? Like, if you were going to have the match,
I understand Moxley wanted the match in Ohio, but they could have still booked the match differently than how they did. You could
have had like a longer match than that, like a 20-minute match,
right?
Or just don't have it at all.
Right.
What was the point? Like, you had all that build just to pull a Sting and Jeff Hardy. That's not cool.
But you got some people out there that loved it, and some people out there like us that didn't.
If this would have happened in the WWE, people would have ripped them off, ripped them apart. Let some shit like that happen in the WWE, and watch how badly people would rip them apart. Let like somebody like Ciampa, right? Like Tommaso Ciampa beat Drew, like Roman Reigns in like 3 minutes on some dumb shit like that, and watch how quickly somebody will freaking rip them into it. Just saying. That was the dumbest thing in terms of booking I've seen yet.
Oops.
But that's just me. That's just my opinion. What do I know?
Just like last year, having 13 matches on the card, I'm sure this year's All Out will be like 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 12. It's gonna be 7 or 8, at least 5 hours.
Yeah.
Like, why so much? Like, people are gonna be so burnt out. Even the crowds are gonna be burnt out.
There's still a bunch of names that are even missing from the show as well, but it is what it is.
That's the one thing I don't really like about the AEW pay-per-views. They're way too long. Like, holy crap, why are they so long?
Aha. They did pause it right away. That's good. Yeah, some of their events do go way too long. I agree with that. There was rumors at one point, Dustin had said that they had talked about doing 2-night pay-per-views, which would be a hell of a lot better because then they'd be shorter, you would imagine, like WWE's done with WrestleMania. But Tony Khan was quick to nix that, so that's not happening.
You definitely have 2 nights. I'd be all right with that.
Something like this, where they do All Out and have this many matches, they definitely should do it over 2 nights instead of 1 night. Because if you count the pre-show, that's 17 matches. So that is
It's a lot of
definitely
wrestling.
all right. So anyway, some of those matches will be very good. Some of them will probably be crappy. We'll see what happens with both NXT Worlds Collide and AEW All Out tomorrow night. Busta Boy, have you frozen again?
Nope, I'm here.
Nope, you're there. Okay. Just looked like you were. All right. Any last comments about wrestling of any sort before we close this out?
Nah.
I will mention there is rumored to be another new signing or return, if you will, to Monday Night Raw this upcoming Monday. So be on the lookout for that. I don't know if you guys heard the rumors or not, but I did. Somebody else was supposedly rumored at one point to be appearing on Clash at the Castle and didn't, so you never know what can happen. Because The Fiend was supposed to make an appearance, supposedly. Bray Wyatt supposedly was over in Cardiff.
I pretty much don't pay any attention to The Fiend supposed to be here type of things because they do that like every week.
But a lot of different outlets have reported that this other individual will be appearing on Raw Monday night. I'm not going to say who. Just be on the lookout to see if anybody returns.
I know who you're talking about.
It might be monstrous.
Mr. Control your narrative. Good God.
Right.
By the way, I watched that, by the way. That was trash.
Was it?
It's garbage. It really is. Like the okay. So the rules don't make sense, especially when you got people like Scotty 2 Hotty there. This doesn't make sense to have like no high flying moves, but we got a high flyer. Like, what?
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure John doesn't, but Busta Boy, you got any plugs you want to mention before we go off the air?
2 of them actually. I got my Twitch channel, of course, because why wouldn't I? It's where I do my speed runs mostly. I do a lot of my speed runs there. Twitch.tv/BustaBoy. And I got a brand new YouTube channel actually. Busta Boy Speedruns. And so if you missed my speed runs live, you can go ahead and check them out there. I put all of my best speed runs and everything in there. So
There we go. That's right. You got nothing, right, John?
No, got nothing.
All right. So the next one I'll be on here for wrestling, well, premium live event for WWE or anything might be for Extreme Rules, but we'll see. Other than that, there was a returning backyard wrestling company just recently that came back, and that would be NUW. I do plan on doing a review show for There Goes the Neighborhood and show they had following it here shortly. Just don't have a specific date in mind yet because I will be gone for a 4-day weekend next weekend, so it won't be next week.
okay.
The week
Which,
after.
by the way, YouTube, the next time you want to be an asshole, YouTube, and not notify me when they do a show, first of all, don't. Second, don't. And 3, screw you too. But anyway, I don't know what else to say.
Right. I haven't watched the shows yet, so that's why I say I can't pick a date to actually do the review show yet.
I watched There Goes the Neighborhood, and it's
Be on the lookout on social media, and I'll let you know what I'm doing.
really good. You'll see.
Yeah, I'm sure. Plan on that sooner than later. All right. Thank you guys for being in here. For John and Busta Boy, I am Tony. We're going to take this out. You guys have a great night.